In this video, I'm going to show you guys exactly why you shouldn't be doing this and what you should actually be doing instead if you want to be able to scale your trading mentorship to the numbers that you want. And I'm actually going to show you the results of me taking a client from who was selling low tickets when we started working together. I implemented my systems and we actually started selling high ticket, and we were actually able to take him from making only $4,000 a month selling his low ticket, right? Poverty, right? To actually being able to do over $200,000 in a single month selling high ticket, creating this high ticket offer that people actually wanted to buy and that were willing to actually pay a high price point for. And that's what was actually able to produce the $200,000 in a single month. And if you're new to my channel, you've never watched any of my videos and you don't know who I am, my name is Jay. You can see my Instagram is over here. You can follow me if you'd like. I post on there daily, but I'm essentially running a full stack done for you growth operations for coaches in the day trading and e-commerce space, okay? Essentially what I come in and do when I start working with new clients is I build out their funnels, content systems, sales process, and offer structure, okay? So essentially here, we're taking care of everything for you or for whatever client we're working with, right? We're implementing back-end sales, we're implementing front-end marketing processes, right? Like the goal of this is turning free content into paying clients, right? Like the audience that you currently have is how can we take them from watching your free content to actually converting them into some sort of paid program that they want to pay a high ticket for, okay? And we're scaling coaches to consistent 100K months with no ad spend, completely organic, without the client having to spend time working on the back end. Because at the end of the day, you're the coach. You should be spending time creating the content and then also coaching the students to success. And so if you're watching this video, you're probably selling low ticket right now, and you probably believe that low ticket is better than high ticket, or you have some sort of limiting belief in your head that for some reason you think that you can't sell high ticket, okay? And so what you probably believe is that low ticket is the easier yes. It's like, oh, low ticket's gotta be better, right? Like, more people are gonna say yes if I have a lower price point, which means more volume, and if I have more volume, what does that equal? More money. Well, I can promise you that you're thinking in the completely wrong way, right? You have the wrong belief about this, and that's exactly what I'm going to change in this video, right? What actually happens is people are going to buy the $200 a month Discord, and the crazy part about this is a lot of you guys aren't even charging $200. You're charging $50. I just signed a new client the other day, and his premium is $50. I'm going, dude, oh my gosh, like no wonder why you're only making 10 G's a month, right? It's like, honestly, this is on the high end, right? Like the real problem is what it takes to hit a real number once they're in, right? Like what happens to your time once you do? So like once they buy this, let's just mark it at $200 a month, is like, especially if you have no ascension systems in place to take them into a higher price point, you're cooked. You're gonna be stuck chasing clients. Like, how can I get more clients each month to make up for the churn? Right? Because people are going to churn, and we'll kind of talk about that in a second, but people are going to buy this $200, and like the real problem is like what it takes to hit a real number per month. Okay, so let's talk about why high ticket actually wins. What's actually better about high ticket? And the first thing that I can immediately start with is chargebacks. I can guarantee you, every single one of you guys that are selling low ticket right now, a struggle of yours is chargeback. People are charging back your low ticket, and there's a reason for that. One is because it's a low friction dispute, right? You have no sort of, refund policy. You have no sort of like, you have no friction for them to actually want to refund or dispute your product, right? The second reason is you're not giving enough value, right? You're not giving enough value. That's why they don't feel like it's that important. And that's why they charge back, right? Because you're not giving, the only thing you're selling is live trading and maybe a mini course, right? Like that's not valuable enough. And you have to understand the people that you're selling to are probably broke and don't have a lot of money. And so they need that money back if they're not going to be able to get the result in X amount of time. And so meaning if they don't get the result in X amount of time, they need that money. And so they're going to charge back. Right? They're going to charge back, they're going to dispute, and your payment processors are going to get cooked, and you're losing money, right? And so chargebacks are a number one reason why low ticket sucks and why high ticket is better, because when you sell high ticket, you don't get any chargebacks. One, because the value is much more than the low ticket, right? And then also you're getting better clients that actually have money to afford a 5K program, meaning they're probably not going to charge back because they're willing to pay a high price point in the first place, right? The second thing is client seriousness, okay? You're going to get better student results, right? Because they're more serious. It's a higher quality student, okay? A $200 a month member have no skin in the game. You're probably selling to people that are new to trading, and just realistically, if you're new to trading, you're just not going to get results right away. And as well as there's nothing really attached to this low ticket because it's just a live stream, right? Like people have no problem ignoring it or ghosting it, which means if you can't get student results, what can't you get more of? Clients, Okay, it works. I want you guys to understand kind of this like flywheel mechanism of like a win, and then that equals social proof, and when people see that social proof, they turn into a new client, and then you get another win, right? So it goes from win to posting it on socials and then getting a new client because you post on socials. And the only reason you're able to post on socials is because you had the win, and it works in this flywheel. But if you're not able to get these wins, you can't post on socials and get new clients, right? Because testimonials are always what's going to sell the most, right? But you can't do that. Okay. The third thing is going to be fulfillment. Okay. Fulfillment is much, much easier. And you probably think, well, there's no way if I have to do one-on-one calls, or there's no way if I have somebody pays me $5K, I have to work my ass off, right? 250 Discord means you have constant DMs and constant chaos, right? And if you're not fulfilling to these DMs, people are going to what? Charge back, right? Attention split in 250 different ways, and none of them are paying attention enough to justify it. Right? These people are going to be, they're going to step over the boundaries of your time and things like that. But if you have 10 high ticket clients with a structured offer, group calls, maybe even a CSM, a resource library, a curriculum, the fraction of the workload for more revenue, right? You only have 10 clients who are paying you 5K or 6K, even 10K, and you already have a structured offer which is going to save you time. You're doing group calls, meaning you can kill, you can kill off a bunch of your time just being able to take a group call, and then also a resource library where if they do have any questions, they can just immediately go and reference it instead of, blowing up your iMessage, right, your phone. And then also a curriculum. And then I also do recommend you get a CSM. A CSM is essentially just like a coach or, somebody that can hold your students accountable without you having to, 24/7. And so just to make this make even more sense, let's say your goal is to make $50,000 a month. Let's just set that as a baseline. Let's say you want to make $50K per month with your trading info business. With the math of a $50,000 a month goal, you need to have, let's say your offer price point is at $200, like the same reference we've been doing. In order for you to hit $50,000 in cash collected per month, you need 250 clients paying $200 a month to get that 50K. With a high ticket, let's say the offer price point is 5K. Typically, that's like the baseline for my high ticket clients. When I take somebody on, we typically run our main offer at 5K with upsells, right? And downsells. But 5K offer, you only need 10 clients to hit $50,000 per month. 10 compared to 250. I want you to think of this in your head. Do you think it's going to be harder or easier for you to make $50,000 a month with high ticket? Way easier, because you only need 10 clients instead of 250. And you're targeting, when you're selling low ticket, you're targeting the shitty ICP who's probably going to charge back anyways. And brokies probably aren't even going to pay the $200 a month, but you're targeting a premium ICP with the 5K with people who have money and are serious about trading, who are willing to put that up. 10 clients is always going to be easier to get than 250. So if we do this in a full breakdown, the price point of the $200 a month is recurring. You can cancel it any month, anytime. But if you pay $5,000, it's a one-time payment. It's locked in. All right, you can use Clarity Pay, you can use Klarna, whatever, and you get paid in full. Okay, and so that's the one thing I want you guys to understand is this $200 a month will go away, right? Because people are going to churn, right? And again, the people needed is 250 paying every single month for you to do $50,000 a month consistently. You just need 10 clients a month each month for that, right? And as well as you don't even necessarily need new cash coming in. If you have an ascension model put in place where you can take them from 5K up to 10K, and it's that same client, it's just you're raising your LTV, right? You don't always have to focus on new cash when you're selling high ticket. And so, with the churn replacement of those 250 members is you need at least 50 new members a month just to stay at 250 flat, right? Just to stay at 250 flat. So that's even ignoring the scale, right? If you want to be able to scale past, $50,000 a month, right? You need to be able to get more than this number every single month with the churn replacement. And that's just at 20%. It could be higher, it could be lower, right? It's nothing needs to be replaced because it's already closed. Okay, I want you to understand that. And then the real conversions needed per month, typically, obviously when you're selling high ticket, you're taking sales calls. So you really just need 10 closes, right? Let's say, I don't know, you're closing at 50%, 30%. Here you need 250 plus opt-ins, right? To net out the churn every single month, right? You need a lot of leads, okay, in order to hit $50,000 a month selling low ticket. I'll be honest, it's so unrealistic. And then, the cost of one bad customer is one click dispute, $200 gone. Thank you, right? Here it's rare. Chargebacks are very, very rare. If you have good fulfillment and you have a good offer and you have good structure to that offer, it's very rare that you're actually going to get a chargeback. Of course, there's going to be people that charge back and they're just assholes, but at the end of the day, it's very unlikely. And like the same $50,000 goal. One path is a fucking treadmill that you never step off of. You're always going to be stressed, high strung. Just 10 conversations with your sales team. The sales team just needs to close 10 leads. That's all. Okay. It's like why high ticket is actually easier to hit and why it's so much better than low ticket is like no huge following needed, right? Like you don't need 250 clients a month and you only need 10. You don't need this massive following. You just have to be able to position yourself as an authority for people to get you to pay, a premium price point for your coaching services. You need one good offer, right? You need a really strong offer, again, to be able to have people pay you a high ticket. And then there's actually a real application process, right? When you're selling high ticket, you have to hire a team. And so that team can vet these people, understand who's qualified, who's not qualified, and be able to maximize conversions. So there's actually this turns into a business. Low ticket isn't really a business. It's just a, link that you throw out there and say, hey, join if you want to see me trade. It's not really a business, but when you're selling high ticket, you have a team, you have hires, and you're actually able to scale this to, like you'd seen, $200,000 cash collected per month. And there's also a handful of calls a week, right? So like your sales team is hopping on calls. They're getting these deals closed for you. You don't have to do customer support. You don't have to worry about handling leads that aren't your students, right? And like low ticket is obviously always going to, it's just content, volume, and just outpace the churn. That's what you're going to be thinking is like, how can I just outpace this fucking churn and get more clients, right? Because it's a one-man team. When you're selling low ticket, you don't have a team. And if you do, it's just a waste, right? But like high ticket depends on fewer. You don't need you're going quality over quantity. It's higher quality conversations, a number that you can actually control. And so kind of going back to like what we talked about at the beginning of the video is like kind of like the case study and like the payoff that he got from this change was like he was making $4,000 a month selling low ticket, $4K a month. And as soon as I signed him as a client, I started implementing my systems. We were able to do $200,000 cash collect, more than $200,000. That's just from one screenshot, right? It's well over $200,000, right? But in the screenshot, $200,000 a month, cash collected. Before it was having to do calls every fucking day, right? Chasing the 200 to 300, right? The $200 a month price point, which is just baby food, right? Nonstop churn, right? Burning out because you're doing calls every single fucking day, and then low margin per person. Right? I want you guys to understand that. And, it really does come down to when you sell high ticket, you have a real business and a real curriculum for your students to go to actually get the wins that they will actually want to get and that you promise them so that your image is safe, right? You don't have a bad image. You're not a scammer. And also an application funnel. So you actually have a real funnel going through this, us as the team manages, right? Structured onboarding process that every single student knows exactly what they're getting and what the next steps are as soon as they buy your product because the customer only cares about what they're going to get when they buy, right? And then a 5-figure price point. You're selling high ticket, okay? If you want to live a high ticket lifestyle, what do you have to do? You have to sell high ticket. Right? There's also payment plan options, right? So, with financing, Clarity Pay, things like that, they can put a smaller amount up front, you get paid in full, and then that's tied off with the bank, and they have to pay that back, right? Fewer people total. You don't need as many leads. You don't have the stress of like getting these views. You're just going for high quality views, right? And then, the first month on the new offer, $200,000, fewer people than this Discord ever had. And so if you're somebody who made it to the end of this video, you're currently selling low ticket and you want to make the transition into high ticket, you're stuck at that 3 to 5K a month with your offer, you feel like you have a pricing problem, you feel like you could be making more money, but the price point that you're selling at is holding you back, and you also feel like it might be a structuring problem, right? Like your structure is wrong, right? Like you feel like, the structure of your offer could be better. You're trading, your time for not enough money. And you're a good marketer, right? Like content isn't the issue. Like you already have a brand, you already have a following. You understand that it might not be the front end, but it's the middle of funnel and bottom of funnel that are killing you. And if you want this rebuilt for you, you can click the first link in the description below to book a strategy call with me. Essentially, we'll map out a 90-day plan for your business. We'll talk about how I can help you take you to 6 figures a month with your trading coaching business and be able to continue scaling, so on and so forth. So again, click the first link in the description. You can book a one-on-one consulting call with me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.